So Josh, I heard the D&D movie trailer just was released.
I heard about that too. Pretty exciting.
You want to watch it?
Yeah, and then maybe we could tell people our thoughts and things that we noticed along the way.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge. Truth be told, we helped the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best. You need to give us a fighting chance. We're gonna need strength. You got this, right?
I know you don't.
We also need courage, magic, and you. What is that again? It's an owl bear.
Let's go!
Be warned. There is evil here.
I'm glad he's on our side.
This one's dangerous. But whatever happens, we'll be ready.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
Hey everybody, welcome back to JNJtabletop. I'm the real Josh T. With me, as always, is Jake, JNJk_. And today we're going to be talking about something that we're really excited about, which you already know. We're going to be talking about the D&D trailer. Jake and I have been texting about this a lot of the day. We have talks in the Discord going on, so join there if you want to join the conversation. But we figured, why not get on camera, talk about some of the monsters we've seen, maybe some of the spells we've seen. Possibility on like maybe the classes. I know that's speculation, but why not speculate a little bit? Everybody's doing it, right? So we're going to talk about all those and then give some thoughts on the end.
To me, the first monster that just jumps off the screen to you has to be the Black Dragon, and the way they portrayed the acid is just bellissimo. I mean, this is perfect. I always imagined it just being this like thin liquid that just melts flesh. This was heavy. This is like getting smacked in the face with a wave that will still also burn the flesh off your face. Like, that was beautiful. Like, what it did to the ground when it hits, like oh, I like
funny.
that.
It's funny because I think like combination of like game mechanics plus maybe like Game of Thrones. Like, I imagine a dragon's breath weapon, no matter what it is, as just a different color of a fire breath weapon. You know, like even lightning, it's just like it's a big, cone. I know it's a line of just lightning bolts all around.
Lightning bolt.
But it was cool to see it like splash stuff. It was like it was thrown up, and I liked that.
Loved that. Get that boy some Tums, would you?
I know I'm not going in order anymore by saying this, but I thought it was really cool to see the Displacer Beast in there. It's not something that I would have expected to see, and I especially didn't expect it to see one right next to a gelatinous cube that they jumped into.
That was an odd combo. Yep, absolutely.
And then in some sort of like arena or coliseum or something like that. Like that scene alone, I'm still thinking like, what could that possibly be? Why are they in an arena? And why is there a gelatinous cube in an arena?
I don't know, but if you're making a D&D movie, you got to have some kind of gladiatorial arena where you can showcase some really cool monsters. That's what they did. I mean, one of the most classic ones has to be the Mimic too. I mean, you think you have all this like everything's just great and it's awesome and it's fine. I found some loot. It's like nope, it's another monster that's got this weird, sticky, gluey, acidic tongue that's just bleh.
It's nasty. It was definitely cool to see that in an actual movie. And then only other one that I could think of was wild shaped into is an owlbear. Owlbear was just smacking people around, throwing people around. Like it didn't care. It just did what it wanted to.
I don't care. I'm an owlbear, just trucking people all over the place. No, they portrayed the owlbear beautifully. I know technically you can't wild shape into an owlbear, but hey, I kind of feel like now if I'm the DM, I would let my druids do that just because that was really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just say in my world, it's not a monstrosity.
Yes.
Turn it.
You mentioned that the owlbear was just tossing people around, and that kind of brings me right into thinking about the classes that we saw. And let's lead off with Michelle Rodriguez, like going all WWE, just throwing people around in just pure barbarian rage. That was beautiful. I think she looked great doing that.
Yeah, that was very cool. I'm excited to see her play Barbarian. I think she nailed it in the trailer, and she's going to continue to do so throughout the movie. Next in their little D&D party that they have, back to the owlbear, right? Sophia Lillis, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with her work, but
yeah,
she looked good.
Yeah, her acting in the trailer at least was very good. It was cool to see the special effects and everything. Turn into the owlbear and then back out of it. And got some sort of like horn things, probably maybe a whatever the heck those things are called. You know what I'm talking about?
Tieflings?
Tieflings, yeah.
Yeah, could be tiefling, could be human or something. Who knows?
Fate touched. I don't know. Either way, very cool.
Yeah, and then Justice Smith is playing probably a sorcerer. I don't think there's a ton of evidence to say sorcerer or wizard. Maybe the age, him looking, I don't know how old he is, but he looks younger. That makes me think sorcerer.
And then hopefully another caster, Chris Pine. Sure seems like he's a bard. I mean, they threw that loot in your face multiple times, and then mentioned it again at the end, like as if like if you didn't notice, she has a loot. And you're like, oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got rogue vibes from him, but there's a ton of overlap when it comes to vibe between a rogue and a bard.
Absolutely.
I don't think we saw him cast any spells, but
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, he did seem to prance around. I think he was prancing whilst looting towards the end there. I would call that a prance. And then we also saw a paladin. I always butcher this actor's name. I always call him Jean Valjean. But I know that's not even close to right. It's Rene Jean Page. He looked fantastic playing what I believe to be a paladin. That quintessential knight in shining armor. They got all the classic things right. I feel like when it came to just a D&D party, especially in nowadays game, which I really appreciated that.
And on top of like classes and monsters, like we saw some spells in there too. Like
yeah, we did.
I know that we saw shield, right? Like with those arrows and everything.
Arrows. Yeah. Maybe there was, I don't know if it was like a catapult or some kind of weapon. It looked like there was just some kind of protective thing over something to fire.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
Yeah, and then of course maybe my favorite spell of all time. I think we saw Misty Step.
Yeah, I think we saw it too.
Yep.
We saw it too. A little red wizard person and their big fight. The little.
That makes me think a red wizard of Thay, right? Don't you think?
That's what I would think. It's definitely giving off that vibe. They seem too young, but I don't know. I don't know a ton about that lore. Mostly because it's part of the actually forgotten realms. They don't exist.
The rest of Faerun.
So yeah.
So it looks like maybe we've got a Faerun adventure here. Nothing wrong with that. I love that.
Maybe this is a stretch. I don't know. Couldn't say for sure, but I think I saw some fireballs in there. I'm pretty sure there were a couple of them.
If it's not in the trailer, it's got to be in the movie.
It has to be. Yeah, it would be a travesty if they didn't put it in. I would be upset. I'd walk out. People would have the movie. Like, they didn't even have a fireball.
Yeah, exactly. Can't have D&D without fireball. You don't understand.
And And then another classic one. I saw someone with some sort of lightning thing. So like maybe it was lightning bolt, maybe it was witch bolt, maybe called lightning, shocking grasp. I don't know. Let us know in the comments which bolt you think they were using.
I see what you did there. I like it. So some overall vibes, impressions, and things like that. I mean, this definitely gives off that Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. This to me, I mean, the line "Who needs heroes when you have thieves?" If you could just take one sentence and just completely describe the vibe of the modern day 5e meme table to sit at, they did it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a really entertaining movie. It looks great to me. Tons of action. I think Chris Pine had described it as a mix between Game of Thrones and The Princess Bride. So I will sign me up for that.
Based on the trailer, I don't know if this is bad or not, but I definitely get more Princess Bride vibes. I feel like the Game of Thrones is more just in the production value.
He's probably just like, there's dragons, so
yeah, exactly. There's dragons, and I'm not really a nerd, so like these are the only two I have as a frame of reference.
Highly possible. Highly possible.
I would also just like to mention, like, can we just talk about how they got D&D right? That's what it feels like, at least from this trailer. Like,
yeah,
from the very beginning, we have, oh, we accidentally unleashed some sort of evil because we stole something and then gave it to someone we probably shouldn't have given it to, and now it's like this crazy bad thing, and we have to try to fix it. And like, if that's not the biggest trope from like your a lot of the time, like, problem DM being like, oh guys, why don't you just go on this quest and this person and it's fine, just steal this thing, it's super powerful, just give it to him, it'll be funny. And then you're like, is that the big bad? And you're like, no, that's not the big bad.
Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But it was very cool to see that, you see them talking about like what should we do? And she's like, talk about it over drinks. And he's like, yeah, definitely do that. And it's just that, combined with all the banter and everything, it feels right. It feels like they really got the tone of an actual campaign feels like. And I'm excited to
completely agree.
See that.
I like that they had the age range seemed really cool. Like I as I get older, sometimes my characters get older. So it was nice to see, Chris Pine, he's older than I am. He's got a ton of gray in his hair. I know I'm starting to get there, but it was cool to see him. And then it looked like the druid and the sorcerer were very young still too. So it was just nice to see that, at least from my point of view.
I like that too.
Yeah.
It's like a ragtag group of adventurers together. That's just another example of that. The fact that they're not all the same age. It's cool.
And so I'm just going to throw this one thing out there. I'd like to hear your thoughts as the viewer here on this. This is a little out there, but I'm kind of wondering that if 6th edition is kind of pushed off a little bit, and they had this movie in mind when they were doing that. There's no bones about it. 5e is easily the most popular and successful edition. Even if you're an old school player, I love you, but you just have to acknowledge what is clearly right in front of you in how popular D&D is now. And 5e absolutely is at the center of that. And yeah, I mean, personally, I'm ready. I think I'm ready for 6e. Keep just a little fresh take on things, I think would be great. But I just wonder if that was involved. Good business decision if it was.
Yeah.
It's not like a conspiracy theory, just a thought.
One conspiracy theory I have is Michelle Rodriguez is in this, but Vin Diesel isn't. That's kind of weird.
Sounds kind of sus.
He was previously the most outspoken supporter of D&D until he got called out by Joe Manganiello for not actually playing with any of them, and I haven't heard anything about him playing D&D ever since then. That being said, my prediction is that Joe is going to show up at some point in this movie, and they're keeping it a secret because people are going to be excited about that, and people are going to be like, oh my god, it's him. And I also think he would lose his mind if he wasn't a part of this movie. Like, I feel like he would do it for free. He named his basement the Gary Gygax Memorial Dungeon. Like,
there you go. There you go. So that's your prediction. I'll make a prediction. I don't think we saw this in. I mean, I guess maybe the wild shaped owlbear could have been a polymorph spell, but I think we're gonna see polymorph in here somewhere because that's pretty fun and versatile.
Yeah.
And you could do a lot of really cool things with polymorph. So
It's gonna be slapstick. It's gonna be something silly. It'll be
Yes.
like "Brah, I'm the big dude in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm gonna beat you up, Chris Pine,
Yes.
Indiana Jones," and then
Yeah.
someone's gonna be like, "You're a bunny rabbit," you know?
Yeah. hmm It's got to be something silly like that. It would be great. So we would love to hear your thoughts on the trailer, what you'd like to see in the movie, anything like that. Do you think we got something wrong? Do you think we just have the wrong take? Like, this is not the direction the movie should go. Whatever it is, I want to hear about it. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then maybe consider checking out some of the videos that you see on screen now, because we're here to help you get the most out of your games. So you should do that. And check the description. There's fun links there. You should do that.
You should. Just do it. Have you considered doing that?